Hi, today we will see Weblogic server installation and creation of domains. So Weblogic server is a J2EE based application server like any other application server which exists in the market like WebSphere, Tomcat, and it is built on completely on J2EE standards, and it runs in between our application and the backend part. So which means that when we access our application through browser, then the the request goes to our web server, and the web server in turn passes this request to the application server where our application is deployed. And then if the application needs an access to the database, the application server creates a connection and gives the database connection to the application. So this is the diagram. This is a basic diagram which represent our middleware tier. So our WebLogic is in the middleware tier. It's an application server. The same browser sends a request to web server sends a request to application server. Application server, if it needs database access, it will access database, and then in the same way that the response will be sent back from application server to web server and from web server to the browser. So this is something very basic about WebLogic. Now we will see how we can install WebLogic. So there are three ways in which we can install WebLogic. First is graphical user interface mode. The second is console mode. The third is silent mode. GUI mode is a graphical installation in which you will be prompted up with a graphical user interface, and you have to select the options and then installation will be done. The second way is console mode. It is through console like command prompt or putty in Linux, where you have to fill in all the necessary locations and file names where you want to install WebLogic. And silent mode is another. In silent mode we use a file named silent.xml which we pass it through in the command, so that all the parameters which we pass in silent.xml are picked up during the installation. So we can install WebLogic servers on different platforms like Linux, Solaris, HPUX, Windows Server 2000 Server, XP. So this is a diagram where we see that WebLogic server, this is a 10.3.1 version of WebLogic server which is going to be installed. So what are the prerequisites which you should see before installing WebLogic on your system? At least 1 GB CPU should be there in your system. Otherwise you will install or it will not perform, or it will start, or it will get hanged. So at least 1 GB is required. Intel and Unix processor are supported. Hard disk drive full installation requires 2 GB of space. So more than 2 GB of space is a must for installing WebLogic. The Linux value for file descriptors should be greater than 4096, and memory should be 2 GB, and number of simultaneous user and session in memory such as coherence. So these are the prerequisites which you should see in order to get your WebLogic installed. So this we will just go through the installation, and we will just check the GUI mode installation. So when you double click on the installation, you will get the welcome screen as this is so when you click next, you will find you have to create a new middleware home, or if you have installed WebLogic prior to in your laptop or in your desktop or on your server, you will get a create use an existing middleware home. So you can select C Oracle middleware, and then you have to press next. Once you press next, it will ask you for security updates. Here if you have a valid Oracle support user ID and password, you can supply it, so that if there is any updates on WebLogic, they will send you a mail and you can receive. So you can bypass this. You just have to uncheck this checkbox, and then you can proceed further. So this page shows you which all components are gonna install on WebLogic. So we right now we are not interested into Oracle coherence, so we will uncheck Oracle coherence. Server example is also unchecked. If you want to install server examples, you can install server examples, and administration console, JDBC driver, third party JDBC drivers, WebLogic server clients, these all are being installed on our system. So this is the another page where you have to give the JDK. If you are using a exe file for Windows, you will get bundled JDK, and if you are using a jar file, a generic installer, then you have to give a local JDK, which you have to specify in the location. And you have to browse and then you have to specify that. Then this is your middleware home, and where your WebLogic server will be installed. So this is a most important folder which will be created after we install WebLogic. So this is a summary page where it will show us which all components are going to install. So this is how it will create. So once it is done, your WebLogic installation is done.